the gap, standing for Jesus. Standing in the gap for family and friends. Standing in the gap, one love for all, so we all can make it in.
Hopefully that brings us up to a certain point, at least. But now, before we get into that, we've instituted a new segment here that we call the Gap News. The Gap News. And the Gap News basically is we focus on one aspect of current events, things that are happening now, and we pull it out and we concentrate on it. And I know Marvel has picked out something that we're going to focus on Gap News this week. Marvel?
We're having a hearing right now, and it's about that the federal government is too woke. I mean, that's seriously what we're hearing. And then there's no definition of what woke is, but on paper, what's actually being criticized in this hearing is that the so-called woke policies are remote work for federal workers, especially those that live in rural areas, and those who have disabilities, paying interns so that critical opportunities don't just go to privileged kids whose parents can afford to pay for their rent while they go on a free internship. That is what is woke here. That is what the other side is calling woke here. Making sure that OPM can create opportunities and federal careers for partners of military service members. That's woke. This is the woke alleged takeover that we have. That we want wildland firefighters who are putting their lives at risk increasingly so year after year, that we want to make sure that they stay on the job and have dignified conditions and not leave because they can earn more money as a greeter at Walmart. This is what this whole term woke means. Or diversity and inclusion so that the people who work in our federal workforce are actually in proportion to the people that live in this country. This is this horrifying woke agenda that the other side is trying so hard to block.
You know, I often wonder, because you hear about this woke thing, and it's hard to understand what they're talking about. You know, because for one, it's a ploy, and they call it woke, and they put all their efforts on woke, and all you hear is woke, woke, woke. You go down to Florida, and it's woke, 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 and this is where woke goes to die, and I'm going to run for president, and one of my main issues is going to be wokeness. We're going to fight against wokeness, and then ask them, okay,
what does it mean?
What is this? This serious stuff. Sounds like, what is wokeness? What do you mean? Wokeness is what I say it is. You know?
Well, it really is the new term for all the culture wars. So wokeness, all those things AOC just talked about is wokeness in the federal government. And basically like diversity and inclusion and having work from home. That's not woke. That's good business sense for employees. Then you got all the gender identity and diversity, equity and inclusion, the trans thing. It's like everything is woke, and you just throw it all under there and say, I'm against it all. That's what DeSantis is doing.
You know, when I think of woke, it's like, okay, at one point in time I was asleep, and now I've awakened. And if you put it in there, you say, I'm awakened to a reality. And basically that's it. Because if you look at it, they don't want you to know what history is. You know, I've never been asleep to history, but I have been propagandized by the United States and by our educational system and all that kind of thing. But the bottom line is the history is the history. And so if you want us to get over slavery, well, then let's level the playing field. Let's do something about it. If you want us to get over all the things that you think are wrong, we have to deal with the truth.
Well, that's what woke is. Don't deal with the truth.
Exactly.
Don't deal with the truth.
And that's
Stay asleep.
and that's an issue that's in the world today, or that keeps being inserted into the world today. And so I guess we have to deal with it. It seems rather stupid to me, over in the overall context, but the way that they're putting so much emphasis on it, I guess we have to deal with it. One thing is, you know, don't let them tell you um, something that's wrong, that's not true. Don't accept the untruth of it, and don't let anybody forget about the truth. They want to get they want to put slavery behind them and all that. Well, you can't put slavery behind us by telling me to forget about it.
Or that it didn't happen.
That it didn't happen, and that it still doesn't cast a long shadow on us today, because it does. And if you want to get around that, let's deal with it. Let's deal with it. All right. All right. That's your Gap news for today, and hopefully that'll get some of you fired up.